As we approach episode 184 of Kuruluş Osman, the stakes have never been higher. Osman Bey, who has continually proven himself a master of strategy, is at a crossroads where the choices he makes will shape the future of the entire Kayı tribe and the fate of his people. But what exactly is going on beneath the surface of Osman Bey's action, and how does it connect to the broader themes of leadership, loyalty, and legacy? In the previous episodes, we've seen Osman Bey facing not only external threats, but also dealing with growing tensions within his own ranks. This is a pivotal moment because we know that Osman's primary focus has always been to secure his tribe's future while maintaining unity. However, the increasing presence of betrayal, both from external enemies like the Byzantines and from internal conflicts, could jeopardize his plans. The tension between those loyal to him and those questioning his leadership seems to be reaching a boiling point. Will Osman Bey's wisdom be enough to overcome the growing discontent, or will his leadership be tested like never before? Could this be Osman's final test? Given the direction the story is taking, could episode 184 be the ultimate test for Osman Bey? His final move, as the title suggests, may refer to the fact that Osman is preparing to make a decision so impactful that it will forever define his leadership. In the wake of his previous victories, he may have to decide whether to follow his instincts or rely on the advice of those around him. We know that the constant threat of betrayal and disloyalty has always been part of Osman's world. And as he faces more serious challenges, how will he balance his idealism with the need for practical decision? Is this a moment where we see Osman Bey's vulnerability, or will his ability to maintain control and unity be his saving grace? And most importantly, what will be the cost of his choice? The path to a new alliance, Osman's relationship with his ally. One of the most intriguing aspects of this episode will undoubtedly be Osman's relationships with those who have supported him along the way. He's managed to build alliances with key figures in the series, but the loyalty of some is now in question. A character like Bala Hatun, whose loyalty to Osman has always been unwavering, could become a crucial player in his decision. Could her role shift in this episode? Will she be able to offer advice or a new perspective that will shape Osman's final decision? Furthermore, the growing tension with characters like Yanis could play a significant role in what Osman does next. Yanis, who has often been seen as a rival, is not easily defeated. The balance between Osman and his external enemies will undoubtedly be shaken up in this episode. But could Yanis prove to be a more valuable ally than we think? As we dive deeper into episode 184, it's impossible to ignore the personal cost that leadership has on Osman Bey. The pressures he faces are immense, and they go beyond mere strategy and battle. Osman has always been a character driven by his desire to protect his people, but his role as leader comes with heavy emotional and psychological burden. In this episode, we may see these struggles come to a head. The theme of personal sacrifice has been a constant undercurrent throughout the series. Osman Bey's journey hasn't just been about gaining power or expanding territory, but about the toll it takes on him personally. In past episodes, we've seen him lose family members, trusted ally, and even his own peace of mind in pursuit of his goal. His internal conflict has always been a key aspect of his character, and episode 184 may finally offer a glimpse into the true emotional cost of his leadership. Is Osman Bey ready to make the ultimate sacrifice? Could the final move referred to in the title be a sacrifice on Osman's part? It's clear that for someone like him, leadership has never been about personal gain. But as the enemies close in on all sides, will Osman be forced to make a sacrifice that changes the course of the Kayı tribe forever? Whether it's a personal loss or a tough decision that risks his relationship with close allies, this episode may see Osman coming to terms with the fact that no victory comes without its price. But how far is Osman willing to go? His sense of duty and his vision for the future may conflict with his personal desire, leading to a moment where he must make an incredibly difficult decision. Will he choose the greater good, even if it means losing something or someone dear to him? This could be the most defining moment of his leadership thus far. The role of legacy in Osman Bey's decision. As much as Osman has fought for the present, his thoughts about legacy have always been in the background. He has often stated that his goal isn't just to win battles, but to create a future for his people, one that will last for generations. But what kind of legacy does Osman want to leave behind? As his challenges intensify, this question may weigh heavily on his mind. The concept of legacy has been a key theme throughout Kuruluş Osman, especially as characters like Ertuğrul Bey and the various beys of the region play their parts in shaping the future. Osman has constantly been compared to his father, and the burden of those comparisons is something he carries with him. Could episode 184 bring a moment where Osman finally reflects on the kind of legacy he wishes to create and how that affects his leadership decisions? This is particularly important because as viewers, we've seen the evolution of Osman Bey from a young and idealistic leader to a more seasoned and pragmatic figure. Could the man we see in episode 184 be willing to make a decision that will impact not just his immediate future, but also the long-term future of the Kayı tribe? Discussion question: do you believe Osman Bey will make a personal sacrifice in this episode? What kind of sacrifice could it be, and what impact will it have on his leadership? How do you think Osman Bey's sense of legacy will influence his actions in episode 184? Will he make a decision that shapes the future of the Kayı tribe for generations to come? Share your thoughts in the comments section. In episode 184, we're likely to witness the consequences of the growing sense of betrayal that has been looming over Osman Bey and his allies. The theme of betrayal has been ever present throughout Kuruluş Osman, and it seems that this episode will test Osman's ability to handle not only external threat, but also the treachery from those he once considered allies. The question now becomes, how far can Osman trust those closest to him? Throughout the series, betrayal has been a recurring element that adds to the tension and complexity of the narrative. Whether it's the Byzantine forces or figures within Osman's own rank, the thin line between loyalty and treason is something that has continually been tested. In this episode, we may see that the line has finally been crossed, and the price of betrayal will be revealed in full. How far will Osman go to prevent betrayal? Osman Bey has always been a leader who values loyalty above all else. His most trusted allies, such as Turgut Bey, Bala Hatun, and Aygul, have been by his side through thick and thin. But in episode 184, could one of these familiar faces betray him? The mounting pressure from both external enemies and internal tensions has put everyone in a difficult position, and it's possible that a betrayal could shake the foundation of Osman's leadership. If one of his closest allies were to betray him, how would Osman react? We've already seen glimpses of Osman's ability to forgive and reconcile with those who have strayed, but will he still be willing to do so when faced with a betrayal that threatens the survival of the Kayı tribe? This episode may reveal the true depth of Osman's understanding of loyalty and how far he is willing to go to preserve it. Will he be forced to make a decision that sacrifices the person who has betrayed him for the greater good of his tribe, or will he choose to give them a second chance? The stakes are incredibly high in this episode, and this moment of betrayal could define the trajectory of the Kayı tribe's future. Is there an unexpected ally in the midst of betrayal? Another fascinating development that could arise from this situation is the possibility of an unexpected alliance. While it seems that betrayal is the main theme, could episode 184 also introduce a new unexpected ally to Osman Bey? In the world of Kuruluş Osman, allegiances are constantly shifting, and sometimes the most unlikely individuals can prove to be loyal when needed most. Could someone like Yanis, a character who has always been on the opposite side of Osman's ambition, now find himself in a position where he becomes a crucial ally? This would be a dramatic shift in the dynamic of the show, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility. After all, even enemies have been known to unite in times of desperation. An alliance with someone like Yanis could bring fresh strategies to Osman's table, potentially offering him new resources and military advantage. But the question remains, can Osman trust him? Would a partnership with someone who has been an enemy for so long truly benefit the Kayı tribe, or is this just another potential trap in disguise?